Kia ora tātou. My name's Kevin Helas. I'm the founder of the Wholefood Kitchen, and I want to speak about the origins of the Wholefood Kitchen, cooking in the spirit of Kotahitanga, which is really the unifying principle. I'd like to explain what that means, where that comes from, what the inspiration for the Wholefood Kitchen and my love for cooking and teaching of cooking has come from. I go right back to my family life, growing up in Hamilton, Kirikiriroa, where cooking was a big part of my life through my mother, Jan, introducing us to taking real care and attention around food and the enjoyment that would come from that, of actually creating things from a very early age. But also more recently through my training in a place called the Concord Institute in London, under the guidance of an extraordinary teacher of mine, Jean Tournay, Mutsuko Johnson, and other teachers, but primarily Jean. I spent countless hours in the kitchen with Jean, learning the craft and the culture of the kitchen, but within a context of cooking with consciousness, really bringing awareness to the act of cooking and what they can bring to us. And that's where the whole food kitchen comes in. So very much, if you look at the term whole foods, is a description about using foods as close as possible to their natural state, where the processing is done in a way which keeps or maintains or enhances the integrity of the food. But there was also a big education around the energy of food and the vitality of food, while also seeing cooking as a way of engaging with a process and connecting with wholeness overall. So whole foods is not relating just to the foods, but to our way of being, who we are in the world, connection with the world, connection with ourselves, a whole world that opens up when we consider cooking in that way, and our engagement with food, our relationship with food and cooking. I also want to speak about Kotahitanga, because this is where the bigger vision for this work comes into play. So Kotahitanga, in my understanding, I came across this many years ago, and I was intrigued by the word because I was introduced to it as a word which literally means oneness, Kotahitanga, the way of one. But actually it encapsulates a lot of different things. It talks about unity, it talks about harmony, but of course it alludes to the wholeness and a way of being in the world. And it connects with the bigger vision that I have for the Wholefood Kitchen. It's connected to my origins here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's connection to the founding document of this, the modern form of this country, Te Tiriti. And it's really a way that I'm wanting to engage in the process of honouring Te Tiriti and realising the promise that I felt from a very young age about what the Te Tiriti represents, or could represent, in terms of a coming together of two peoples in mutual respect and an acknowledgement of the gifts that each party brings to the table, and a way of working together to realise that, so that everyone benefits. That's something I instinctively felt about the promise of Te Tiriti, which of course has not been lived up to, let's say, until now. The Wholefood Kitchen has been set up as a way for me to make a contribution and also to enter into a space of listening and learning, because there's gaps in my knowledge, particularly in the way of living in community, of living in honour of people, community, connection beyond myself. Those are the areas I'm not as skilled in. I have some skills to offer in the terms of teaching cooking, what I've found through the process of cooking, which I want to make available to people. But as always, there's so much wisdom in te reo and in Māori, and this is something I'm just gradually acquiring or exposing myself to, is the wisdom that is there in te ao Māori, in the world of Māori. And there's so much alignment when it comes to food and cooking. There's a beautiful whakatauki which says, Naku te raurau, no te raurau, ka ora ai te iwi. And that translates as, with my basket and with your basket, we will all prosper. And to me, that's the definition of coming together with gifts to offer, with respect for the other's gifts, And of course it alludes directly to what happens when we come to the kitchen space. When we come together and we cook food together, we share food together, we bring our contributions to the kitchen. We offer various gifts, knowledge about how to bring the food together, how to cook it. We enjoy the sharing of that knowledge, and by working together we then get to enjoy the benefits of that, share a meal and go away nourished, refreshed by the whole experience. So to me this is a process for me as well of the experience of living in that way, of really embodying what Kotahitanga means. So really it's an intention, cooking in the spirit of a Kotahitanga in relation to the Wholefood Kitchen. It's an intention, it's a practice. It's a practice I'm engaged in myself, and it's a practice I'm looking to make available to others in the service of coming together in unity and in harmony, and really realizing the potential of Te Tiriti in this country and really setting an example for the rest of the world. So thank you for listening.